Hello, I'm Roger Gifkins, the inventor of the Gifkins Dovetail jig. In this video I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to cut perfect dovetail joints using the Gifkins jig. For this demonstration I'm using our most popular template, the A10 profile, and it's ideal for jewellery boxes and small scale accurate work. The timber I'm working with stands vertically on the jig, and I'll start by positioning that sideways just by eye to get the layout that I want, so it's about evenly spaced across some of the fingers on the template. Once I've decided on that position, these sliding stops are up against the edge and locked in place. And I start by clamping the work securely to the jig. First off, I'm fitting a dovetail cutter to the router, and there's a bearing on the shank of the bit, and that bearing is going to run against that template on the bottom of the jig, and that's going to guide where the cutter can go. Setting the height of the cutter. One of the nice things with this jig is you don't have to set that height accurately, unlike a lot of other dovetail jigs. So what I'm going to do is raise the cutter up till it's about level with the thickness of the timber above the template, but it doesn't hurt if it's a little bit higher. It just means the joint sits a little bit proud on the corner. You get a good fitting joint either way. So raising that cutter up, till I can just feel the top, locking that in place. And that's the first half of one joint finished. If we were doing a box, we'd simply turn that end for end to do the dovetail slots there, and we'd do exactly the same on the opposite side. Once we've got all the dovetail slots finished for the project, then we come around to the other side of the jig, which has different shaped fingers on the template. Between those two stops, and the function of those stops is to align the edges of the boards so there's no marking out or measuring required. Again, clamping securely in place. And now I'm changing over to a straight cutter in the router. Once again, there's a bearing on the shank of the cutter to run against the template on the jig. And once again, we're setting the height level with the thickness of the timber, and again, it doesn't hurt if it's a little bit higher, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same height as that first cutter. You get a good fitting joint either way. That's the joint finished. Now, cutting time was only about 30 seconds. And there we've got a perfect fitting dovetail joint, and you'll get exactly that same result every time you use the jig. The first time you use the jig, you have to do a trial joint to adjust how tight or loose that fit is. But once you've set the jig to match the pair of cutters, then as long as you use those same cutters all the time, you'll get exactly that same fit every time, no matter what thickness timber you're working with. And you get exactly the same result as I'm getting on a homemade table or a Triton table. You don't need any special fittings for your router or for your router table. So it is a lot simpler to set up and a lot easier to use than other dovetail jigs on the market. It's also the only Australian-made dovetail jig on the market. Now the jig is available either direct from Gifkins Dovetails in Australia or through our agents, Classic Hand Tools in England or Japan Woodworker in America. And there's full details and specifications and prices on our website, which is www.gifkins.com.au. Thank you.